Jason, how are you?
Very good. How's it going with you?
Good. We've spoke before, haven't we?
Yeah, 2 times.
Yeah, I remember.
So let's begin. Stuart Smith, how's everything going in the land of heaven and earth?
It's great. Very happy, very, very happy with the new album. And we've been in rehearsals for the last week. This is my one day off, so
Oh, okay.
and I'm doing interviews. It's great. The rehearsals are going really well, and we're going to be playing our first show in April, I think.
How far is this tour going to go?
Well, we're working on that now. We've got all the agents coming down to see us and everything else. There's been some offers for tours, but we're not sure what we're doing yet. We want to see what's out there. And so anytime after April, we'll be sort of ready to tour.
Now, when we go on this album, Dig, where did all the concepts come from? Like, the artwork is incredible. The title makes sense with it, of course. And the sound production is very good.
Well, I mean, there's a lot went into it. I mean, it's firstly, I guess credit would be to Bruce Quarto, who runs Quarter Valley Records. He said at the beginning when we started this, said, I don't care how long it takes or how much it costs, but if you feel you could do it better, go in and do it again. So that's what we did. We really concentrated on crafting the songs and also spending a lot of time with the recording. If we felt we could do better or come up with better things, we'd go back in and do it. So the album took 14 months, but it was well worth it. So there's that. Obviously, Glenn Wexler is due a huge part of that as well. Chuck had known Glenn for a lot of years, and of course Glenn has worked with everyone from Michael Jackson to Van Halen to Black Sabbath. And when we came in, this was a concept he originally had for Led Zeppelin years ago. And Jimmy Page's art director turned it down. It was going to be a Zeppelin being dug up, and so we did it with us, with the guitar and the Stratocaster being dug up. So there you have that. And of course, we got a first-class team with Fred Koschel is sort of heading the team, and MSO Publicity, which again is down to Quarter Valley Records. So hopefully we've got the right combination this time.
And for guitar tones, what are we hearing there to get this?
There's quite a few. I mean, I'm using primarily my Stratocaster, my number one Stratocaster, through Marshalls, but I'm also using some Albion amps as well. And on the track House of Blues, that's actually an AC30. I just plugged directly into an AC30 with a Maxon Overdrive tube screamer, and so that was the only amp I used individually. Everything else was a mixture of Marshalls and Albions and Karsha to get the sound. I also used a Les Paul on this and a Telecaster, just on sometimes doubling to beef up the sound.
And what do you think nowadays to promote albums? It's all online now, Hardly any magazines and stuff like that nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you say it's a whole different world in promoting your work?
Oh yeah, the whole game has changed. I mean, it's totally different now. I mean, it's still just as much work. I mean, you've got your publicists sort of looking at different avenues, but there's a lot online, and there's still what I didn't realize is there's a huge culture out there that is back into vinyl again. We're bringing out this on vinyl. And vinyl sales are up 46% this year. There's a lot of people they're buying turntables again, and they love the vinyl sound.
And like that, vinyl's a little bit harder to duplicate and rip off the artist with. When you want vinyl, you buy it.
I mean, the internet is still going to go around on the internet. There's nothing you really do about that.
Now, Stuart, you guys are going to go in promo videos and stuff like that for this album?
Yes, we've done 2 already. The first one I think is going to be released in about a week. That's for No Money, No Love, and the second one is for I Don't Know What Love Is. Now, have you heard the album?
Yes, I did. In fact.
Oh, good. Did you enjoy it?
The sound quality, like I said earlier, is very good, and the songs deliver the goods for 2013. So yes, very good album.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to sort of make it have a modern sound to it, but although we're playing that sort of 70s style.
Now, Heaven and Earth's been one of your projects for a little while now, because one of our last interviews we did talk about your first Heaven and Earth album. So what do you think of that as, keeps on going?
Well, I mean, Heaven and Earth is really where my heart is at. I mean, I've played with other bands, but this is what I've always wanted to do. It's the music that sort of I love doing. The first album, it was a good production on it, but there was probably about four or five, probably maybe about 5 or 6 good songs on the album. I think this one, the difference with Dig is it's much warmer sounding because we're using tape as opposed to recording it digitally. As well as that, I don't think there's a weak song on the album. I listen to it and I sort of enjoy every song. I don't feel there's anything I want to skip through. So hopefully the buying public out there feels the same way.
Part of the members, we see a lot of your work from the Sweet band back in the day, because we got Joe Retta and Richie Honoré playing on this. Yes,
I mean, well, Richie has been with me on every Heaven and Earth album. I mean, it's sort of been something that, although I had Heaven and Earth quite a few years, Richie and I teamed up in, I think, 96, 98 or something like that, and sort of have been a team ever since. And Joe, I brought him into Sweet when Steve Priest asked me to put that together, and the guy's just got an amazing voice, incredible singer. So we brought Joe in, of course, with this, and Arlen has been on other Heaven and Earth albums, and Chuck Wright as well. And I've known Chuck. In fact, Richie and Chuck used to be in a band, one of their first bands together.
What band would that have been?
It was called Satyr, S-A-T-Y-R.
Okay.
And they used to play at places like the Starwood in Los Angeles. They were a Los Angeles-based band. Pat Reagan was in it, who produced the first Heaven and Earth album. He played keyboards in the band. And Richie was the drummer, Chuck the bass player. I don't know the others, but they were reasonably well known. They played around Los Angeles. They opened up for Aerosmith and Van Halen and things like that.
And Stuart, what's going on with Sweet nowadays?
I quit Sweet about 5 months ago. It wasn't going anywhere for me. I mean, I wanted to sort of record new music, and Steve Priest didn't want to. And I'd already got the deal for... So, I mean, when this happened, I got the deal for Heaven and Earth, and I was always spending a lot of time with Heaven and Earth. I didn't really have the time to deal with going out on the road with Sweet and, the touring. I mean, it would have been okay if we were actually sort of going somewhere, but it was just playing the same old songs every night. And, I think even the fans wanted to hear something new. So,
right.
I left. I quit on the way back from Michigan. We played a show in Michigan, and I quit on the plane.
Wow. Everything's going good now with Heaven and Earth, and, you're going to make this, 100%. Is that it for the main product of your life?
Yes, exactly. I really want to get it off the ground this time. Before, I always wanted to before, but the first time, we were recording, and it was for Samsung, and the Asian economy collapsed, so they had lost their distribution deal with WEA. And the second one, I thought was a good album, but there wasn't enough money there to promote it. And then we sort of put the thing together over here and started going out on the road with Kelly Hansen, and it started to get noticed. But then we lost Kelly to Foreigner, and so then, of course, this time, we've got Quarter Valley Records behind us, and their support is 100%. So that's really counts for a lot, because it means we can sort of get out there and do what we want to do.
Now, Stuart, let's say for the album Dig, with the song titles and that, where did you go into delivering what song goes what place on the album? Like, let's say, Victorious for number 1. How did you do this?
Well, some of them are just obvious. Victorious has that great long intro to it. It's sort of a set opener and in my mind, an album opener. But I always generally go with Howard Leese. He's been a friend of mine for years, but in the old days, record companies used to pay him to what they call sequence albums. And he did the first sequence, and we sort of had him put together the rough sequence, and then Chuck Wright sort of changed around a couple of songs. And so it was really it was what flowed best. And Howard, as I say, Howard picked that out for us, and then Chuck. And Howard Lease picked out the first sequence, and then, as I say, Chuck Wright came up with just moved a couple of songs around, and then that's it.
And this would be Howard Lease that plays in Bad Company and was Heart's guitarist.
Yes, yeah. Howard's been my friend for years, and I always have him sequence the albums. He's very good at it.
Excellent stuff, and for 2013, we're going to be seeing a lot more of this, and the radios are going to be picking it up, you do believe, all over the world?
Well, I hope. I mean, we're being distributed by Warner Brothers, so it means we'll be getting out there a bit. And I feel that Squatter Valley Records are going to give us the right amount of promotion that people will know about it. Excellent
stuff. Well, you keep up the great work, Stuart, and thanks for taking the time. And this is a great product, and I look forward to seeing this.
I'm glad you like it. And where are you living now?
I'm still in Nova Scotia, Canada.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll get out there again soon. And I was out there with Sweet, but hopefully we'll be out there with Heaven and Earth.
Excellent stuff. Well, we'll see you soon, Stuart.
All right, Jason, take care of yourself.
You as well. Talk soon.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.